Greetings, humanoids of the internets. My name is Bob, and this is episode 150 of Journey into Space. Journey into Space. I know I haven't been uploading a lot. Um, Part of that was, I guess, sort of my playing of From the Depths kind of fell apart, and now they've got the new AI shit that I haven't learned yet, so I can't play that yet. But I have been playing a fair amount of KSP, so I figured why not record? Now there is a colonization process of Minmus already ongoing. This is the shuttle that I used to get there, but I've got a new one and improved, hopefully. This has gotten into orbit. It has not gotten to Minmus yet, so we shall see if it does. Now, who shall we pick for our crew? There's always the good old standbys, but I don't want them to take all the glory. And besides, if some of these others die, it's not as personal, If old Jeb dies, it's not the same as if Danstead dies. Let's see. Ronford is a veteran astronaut. We will bring him in. Let's see what else. We'll give Arlong a chance to actually we'll get a co-pilot first. We will get Thomdorf as the co-pilot. We need an engineer. I've got just the one engineer. Come on. All right. Well, Bill, you're engineer. I got two engineers. And we'll just throw in a scientist there just for grins. And we still got a lot of empty seats. This is a test flight after all, so. This way we only kill 4 of them. I've already got it so it's lined up on a refueling satellite in orbit, which I will need to dock to in order to get enough fuel to go to Minmus. Now this thing is so cumbersome that there's no way that in orbit I'd be able to dock it to the refueler. But the refueler is actually pretty nimble, so I'll use that. I'll get it close, and then I'll use that to finish it up. What the hell is that? Why is that on its own action group? That should not be. That is no bueno. Check everything out. Make sure, because sometimes KSP will rearrange shit. Oh, where's this guy? You're up there. What the fuck? And why are all these? God damn it! KSP's fucking up my shit again. I did not do that. That was KSP fucking me up. Come on. All right. And all this parachute bullshit. This was for testing purposes, because if it totally screwed up, I wanted to try to save it. It's not really necessary, although it's there now. And some of these are drogue parachutes for landing. And make sure there's no fucking engines on the parachute stage. Okay. Okay, custom 1 is the air brakes, these guys. Custom 2, I'm telling this so I remember it. That cuts the jet engines. They will actually jettison after use. 3 toggles the lanterns. 4 toggles the lantern mode, either regular mode or afterburner mode. 5, the deploys the drogue chutes down here, and 6 custom chutes in case I need to get rid of them. All right, save, launch. Also, I don't know how often I'll be able to do videos again, or if this is just sort of a one-off thing. I am actually fairly busy these days, but I also do play a lot of KSP in my spare time when I have it, and just so happens I have a little spare time. Okay, so I have the tank here, the engine there, and throttle to maximum. SAS on. And 3, 2, 1. Come on. No lag. Up. And we're on our way to space. This thing is fucking loud, so I don't know if you can even hear me. Okay, we're getting up. Time to kind of level it off. Good acceleration. Standing by for nuclear engines. Nuclear engines on. Air breathing engines off. Stage. Pick it up. Yeah. No. Come on, baby. Let's get to space today. All right, we're gonna go with the uh, the plane nukes for efficiency for a little bit until we get nearer to the Albatross. Shut off the RCS. And then we'll switch back into afterburning mode when we get closer. Oh, 72 and 74. Now I'm going to actually have to get up a little bit higher than this because it's still a little ways behind me. But actually, first thing I'm going to do is fix the inclination because I'm kind of bent over here. Okay, orbit and inclination fixed, but as you can see, my station back here is still a good ways behind me. I am in a higher orbit, but to be efficient, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for him to catch up. Okay, we're about to have our encounter. Fortunately, it's in the dark side. Dark side of the Kerbin. This is my refueling station, to the extent that you can actually see it in the dark here. Okay, we're about to dock. We're not quite lined up in terms of the orientation of this dock as I would like it to be, but we're going to go ahead and ease in. Get a little closer here. Oh, there we go. Now let's see, make sure we haven't, in all this chasing around, haven't set our apoapsis below 70, and we haven't. I'm going to need a bigger depot in future because I just drained that right out. It was designed for my previous shuttle, and it sure doesn't hold the same compared to this thing. So what I'll do is I've got a reusable craft that I'll come up here and bring fuel to it and replenish it. And that's it for now as far as this depot is concerned. Let's go ahead and I assume I have enough fuel to get there. Yeah, I do, probably. Yep. Undock. I'll go ahead and move this to a slightly higher orbit, and then I'm going to go ahead and move this thing back to its normal orbit because it got out of its orbit a little bit to rendezvous. Okay, we're about to head out to Minmus. Yeah, I need to turn down those engine effects because it's real loud. Okay, now I don't have an encounter with Minmus because it's in the deep part of its orbit. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to come out here and aim downwards and hope I have an encounter. All right, now we have an encounter. Let's see what that's looking like. Yep, that's going to be a real eccentric orbit, and I'll have to fix it. But at least we've got an encounter. Goodbye, Kerbin. We're going to Minmus. Minmus, the little blue-green planet. Yes. Okay, we're at our maneuver node. And then when we actually get to Minmus, we'll have to both do a burn to break into orbit, and then we'll have to do a inclination burn because the area that we have setting up for colonization is a lake pretty close to the equator, not exactly on the equator, but close to it, and so we will need to get lined up on it. Okay, our orbit around Minmus is actually going to be a bit backwards from, I know, not a bit backwards, completely backwards from the way that you normally rotate, normally do an orbit, which is this, not this. But since we're landing, it doesn't matter. We're not having to dock with anything. If I needed to go turn the orbit around, which would be a huge pain in the ass and would take a tremendous amount of fuel, what I do is I set up a maneuver and then just way this way on the controls. So it would be like this. Into the planet, into the moon, back out again. And that would be, well, that'd be 84 meters a second, so actually wouldn't be bad. But we're not going to bother with that. because it doesn't matter whether we're heading in a normal or anti-normal or retrograde or whatever direction, since we're just going to be landing anyway. Okay, we're going to do a burn to stay in Minmus orbit. Now, 212 meters a second is not a small part of the chunk of the tank I've got here. Because of the depot, the fuel depot is actually way smaller than the ship. I couldn't fill up all the tanks, so we have to go with what we have. Where is Minmus in this? Where are you, Minmus? Also, you might notice I've got Minmus pretty well circled by satellites, because I do a lot of landing robotic stuff, and you need to make sure you have radio contact. That's a regular communication satellite. That's a communication satellite. That's a resource satellite. And yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm about to do my landing burn. And let's see how we are for alignment. We can go down a little bit. Now this area over here has most of my fuel infrastructure, but this area over here has all the rest of my stuff. So I may have to refuel and then go move back over here or something. I'm not sure. Let's get up closer to the node right quick. Minmus rotates pretty fast. Things can kind of move out of your way. And I'm not certain whether this fuel's going to make it for me. I think it probably will, but I've never landed this vehicle on Minmus before, so it's anybody's guess. And I'm going to be doing pretty much as close to a suicide burn as I can, as I dare. Now, because Minmus is rotating towards me, I want to actually get closer to the landing spot that I think I'll need to, because the moon is moving this way, so it's gonna be moving out of my way unless I get close enough to it. So if I were coming this way, I would in our landing here, I would set this point like way out here, because that's the direction that the moon is rotating. Let's go ahead and move up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put this point actually a little bit this way, because by the time I get there, the moon will have rotated into place. Of course, I'm still kind of eyeballing it. I'm not doing it with any kind of great precision. And actually, that may be a little bit too extreme. There you go. All right, now we drop. And this vehicle is not very maneuverable, so there's also a limit to how quickly I can rotate this thing around various axes. 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 Alright, 4,000 meters. $3,000 and the engines are actually stronger for this than what I thought they would be. Now, you may be asking yourself, this is an airplane or a space plane. It lands on a runway. How's it supposed to land over here? I have a very clever plan, which you shall see shortly. And I'm not nearly as close as I would like to be to that. Let's go ahead and turn on RCS. That's the miner. That's the oil ore dipper, and refinery is also there. This should be plenty close. Go ahead and bring it out of retrograde lock here, because I'm going to have to do some maneuvering here in just a minute. Idea is I go into hover right above the surface. Then I transition to horizontal. And then I use RCS like crazy to... Oh, wrong one. Try to break my fall. And something broke. Oh well. It's probably that little, oops, gear down. Probably the little heat shield I had on the nose wheel because it tends to get hot. I don't need that. Just excess weight. Now, how come they don't have it where the wheels have actual electric power to them so I can drive around? Of course, really, I can drive around anyway, can't I? At least in this direction. Well, the one I'm heading to is over here, so. wait for it, and brakes. And brakes. Alright, well, I'm drifting a little ways. Come on, brake. Brake it. Well, one way to stop this thing. That'll work. Alright, now how I refuel this thing. This docking port right here. I have to go fly a small craft from the refiner over here to this docking port. No, that's just a random piece of debris. And that's the wrong thing. And this is the right thing. First of all, F5. Okay, this thing is actually two different vehicles. From here down is the, I don't know if you can see that. From here down is the refinery, and it refines ore that is gathered by that thing. From here up is what I call a honey dipper, which delivers ore from, or not ore, but will deliver fuel from here to my shuttle. That's rather a sensitive operation. I also just noticed that I haven't processed my ore yet, which I might have to do multiple trips with this thing. So I may have to process that ore, but I'll do that off camera. So the first step is dock this thing from here and move it over here, close by the shuttle, but not to it. And then we shall see what the next process is. Let's fire up the engines. Oh, no. First thing we do is retract these panels because I don't want to get them broken. I said retract the panels. Thank you. There we go. Now we take off. And this thing has little thermal nuclear rockets on it. That is a mod part. Well, lift off. You can do it. Alright, which way is which here? Slow up a little bit. Hello, gear down. God damn it. Okay, now we're sitting down next to it because it's actually a lot easier to do this mostly with RCS and not so much with engine power. Just enough engine power to barely lift it off the ground, and then do the rest with RCS is easier. Let's do a quick F5. Set this as target. Just get enough thrust to barely get off the ground. Or maybe not even, just enough to where it looks like the pads are starting to kind of release. Like that. That should be enough. give it a touch more. Touch more. Okay, use the home. Move over. Home. I'm don't why I'm telling you, your controls will be totally different. It's probably not the home key for you. And yes, I'm basically going to fly it over here. Touch more power. Oh. Just a tad less power. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Oh, kind of awkward, but come on. There we go. All right, so now I got to refuel. And go back. Probably do it all over again. Get on there. Come on. Oh, just on the edge. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Giddy up. Come on. And docked. All right, I got to load it up and do another trip. Most important thing with this thing is make sure we replenish. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Replenish monopropellant always. Even though it's got tons of monopropellant with it, if there's ever runs out of monopropellant, it will no longer be functional as a refueler. Okay, I am bingo on liquid fuel, which means I need to go ahead and refine some, and then I'll have enough to fill this thing back up again. Okay, it is now the next day on Minmus, and I have enough fuel to fill up the Honey Dipper, so we'll go ahead and head that over, fill up the shuttle, and then move on to the next part of our adventure. Yes. This is pretty damn cool looking, actually. Very science fiction. Actually wasn't going to show you this, but it looks pretty damn cool, honestly. Let's slow it down. Oh, the wrong way. Channel. Channel. Up. Back up. All right, just got to transfer over the fuel, which is held in these things. This I just leave for the transportation of the vehicle itself. Refuel it up, and we'll be ready to go. I probably have so much fuel in this thing that I could probably actually take this shuttle to Duna, because I actually had so much fuel that I had to get rid of, because you have to empty these things before you leave, because otherwise it'll be unbalanced if you have an unequal amount in those tanks. So I actually filled up the wings, which weren't, or I didn't fill them up. I put fuel in the wings, which didn't originally have fuel in them at all. So I'm actually more full of liquid fuel, at least, than I was when I left. Okay, we're going to take a short flight over to the other part of the colonization effort, the other base, and let's undo the brakes, and you'll be able to see all that, and I may have to leave returning to Kerbin for the next time. Come on. There we go. Let's go ahead and switch to regular liquid fuel. I don't want to waste my oxidizer. Yeah, I should have gotten monoprop. Oh, well, we'll be fine without it. As I quick save. But really, I won't need monoprop for the rest of the mission, pretty much. 2,000 meters and 42 meters a second. Maybe I should go ahead and peel that back a little bit. Yep, a little bit of lag. Yep, lag. It's a little too high. Okay, we got a great abundance of liquid fuel, so we are not running out of that anytime soon. Monoprop on. Move forwards. And channel up the landing there. There we go. Okay, in this area what I got is... Nope, okay. Brakes on. What I have in this area is the Minmus dromedary, which is a dromedary. Dromedary? Is that what it's called? Dromedary. Basically, it was a intended to be a like a version of one of my spiders, my Minmus spiders that fly around. But I put too many gigas on it, and so it doesn't get enough range. So that's just kind of sitting here now. A flag is there. Oh. This is another one of my refueling things. Basically, it's like a car that has a little honey dipper on it to refuel stuff. This is my sort of runabout. Instead of having the spiders, I figure I'll just have this, and so that can get me around the surface pretty well. All right, boys, let's hop out. All right, Captain Ronford. And you're just dropping off there, aren't you? All right, well, whatever. It's all good. All right, well, here's the crew. This shuttle can take a maximum of 19 people. So 16 can be stored in here, and then 3 in the command pod. For a total of 19 people can take to Minmus. It's just got 4. It's just still kind of a test flight. First landing on Minmus, so I only have the 4. But yeah, next time we will do a little playing with some of our toys here, and then we will head back home. Hopefully, successfully. That's all for right now. Until next time, hasta la vista. Adios.